Today, Sarah and I are going to make some southern biscuits, and this is a recipe that was given to us by our sweet friend Dee. First of all, we're going to get our yeast, water, and a bit of honey, and we're going to put all this in here. And as we're getting the other ingredients ready, the yeast will be able to hydrate, and we're going to mix everything up with this little whisk and set this aside. First, we're going to put all our dry ingredients into our flour. So here we have some sugar, some baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And we'll thoroughly mix this together. The butter is still being chilled in the refrigerator. Now here is the butter that is cubed and has been chilled, and we're going to add it right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to coat every bit of butter with some of the flour. So even the flour was in the refrigerator, so everything is nice and cold. We're gonna coat all these little butter cubes with the flour. Now there are several ways to actually cut the butter into the flour. This is one of them, where you just simply go down in a rocking motion. But another way that I also like is with my hands. And again, your hands have to be cold. If you tend to have really hot hands, it may not be the best way. But once it's nicely floured and coated, you can just kind of squish these butter cubes just like so. And we're going to do that until all the butter cubes are kind of incorporated into the flour. Let's look at it. There are still some chunks in there, but you see how they're kind of all squished and coated? Let me tell you about Dee. She loves to prepare food for friends and people, and this is one of her signature things that she usually makes. And here we're going to add the yeast and the water and the honey and the buttermilk. There. With the help of this rubber spatula, we're going to incorporate the buttermilk and the yeast, and we're definitely going to try not to over mix it. And the nice thing about the rubber spatula is you keep your hands a little bit more clean, and you don't incorporate heat from your hands. We're going to bring everything together until we don't see any dry flour. As you can see, there is no more flour in here, dry flour. Everything is well incorporated. It looks like a very wet dough. Here you see some flakes of the butter. This is going to be covered up and refrigerated up to even 5 days. It can be used tomorrow, but as the days go by, it becomes better and better. So magically, we have some dough that we previously made, and it has been resting in the refrigerator. Now we're going to be able to roll it out. I'm going to generously dust our work surface, and then just take a portion out. Oh, look how nice and airy it is. This is wonderful. Now the rest we can put back in the fridge for next time. So even here, put some flour on top, and we're gonna roll it out to about 2/3 of an inch. One secret that Dee told me is to actually fold it up, because this in essence is almost kind of like a rustic laminated dough, and we can do this another time, and this is what's going to give our biscuits those beautiful layers. So let's do it one more time. A little bit of flour here. So So we folded the dough several times. Now we have different sizes that we can use to cut them out. I think we're going to use the smallest, and we're just going to go around. And you can actually dip this into a bit of flour so that it doesn't stick. And we're just going to go around and cut them out. Now the pan, we're going to use a cast iron pan, and we're going to, with a brush, put some melted butter on there. Here is our cast iron skillet. We're going to just rub some butter or brush some butter right on the bottom and on the sides. This is definitely going to be an incredible treat to have these biscuits with all this butter. Now we're just simply going to set them on here, and they kind of have to touch. There. Gonna go all the way around, and the oven outside is already preheating, and we can't wait to bake them. We're gonna bring this back together, roll it out, and cut out some more. Finally, we're gonna brush the tops of each of these biscuits. And boy, is this gonna be a treat. Perfect for a breakfast, for lunch, for an afternoon tea. Our oven has been preheating. It's a bit too hot, so we're going to take the hot coals out and put them in a bucket. With our copper bristle brush, we're going to clean the floor. Our biscuits can finally go in. We're going to close the door and the damper and allow the oven to do its magic. Time is up, and we can pull our cast iron skillet out, and look at this. An additional little brushing of butter on top, and we are ready to serve these. The color is beautiful. Now we're just going to simply brush them with a little bit of additional butter right on top. Call everybody to the table, and we're going to enjoy them with some honey. And since it's such a rare occasion that we make them, maybe even a little spread of additional butter in between. I'm just curious to see. Well, first of all, let's look underneath. Perfectly done. And then you can see all the different layers because of the folds that we gave the biscuits. And now we're going to serve it. And why not? Some more butter. And then a nice drizzle of this beautiful honey. And I wish I could invite you over to eat this wonderful biscuit with us. I'm going to wish you un buon appetito.